Welcome back. Well, foster care is so important to the ability to possibly change a child's life. Otherwise, wouldn't have that opportunity. But it can be a little bit tricky thing to talk about with other kids. So how do you explain it? How do you go about doing that? Well, joining us now, we've got Mrs. International 2020, Ashley Ray, to give us a better understanding. Ashley, happy Monday. Welcome back to the show.
Happy Monday. Thanks for having me, Chris.
It's always great to have you. So talk about, how do you sort of start or breach that conversation with the kiddos about, hey, we're going to be looking to become a foster family?
Absolutely. So first, let me just say that, one of the missions, of course, of the Be a Foster movement is to create conversation and understanding around the undeniable impacts of foster care and the increasing need for loving foster families. Many times we focus on adults, right? Communicating this message with adults because it's the adults that we're asking to become foster families. But it's equally as important to share this information with the foster youth. Yes, I'm talking about the youth that are in the foster care system, but for this example, I'm talking about the youth that are already in our home. So maybe our bio children, adopted children like ours, the children that are there, we need to be having these conversations with them as well. So there's 4 things that I always talk about. The importance of understanding foster care. I talk about sharing age-appropriate information, the foster care basics, and then creating compassion. So just that first one that we talked about, the importance of understanding what foster care is, just as we as adults need to understand the impacts of foster care and the need for foster families, we need to be sharing this with the youth in our life as well, especially if we're inviting foster children into our home. Sharing age-appropriate information, that second one, is so key. How you explain foster care to maybe a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old is going to be different than how you explain it to a teenager in your home. So really understanding how to explain what foster care is, depending on the age of the children that are in your home, and keeping that information age appropriate. There might be things that you share with older kids that you don't share with younger kids, and how you explain some of those details may or may not be important in just understanding what foster care is. So then the third one is the foster care basics. And I always talk about the what, the who, the why, and the how. The what is just helping them understand what foster care is. Ultimately, foster care is the reunification of a birth child with a birth family. That is our ultimate goal with foster care. Does it always happen? No, but our ultimate goal is to take care of that child while the family is getting support by different agencies so that we can ultimately reunite them. And that's important for children in our home to understand that that's the goal. The who is in foster care. Understanding that it's not always a certain type, right? It's any age, it's families of any background, many different situations. We don't want to create stereotypes in our children. We sometimes as adults have those stereotypes, and we need to break through those and help them understand really who's in foster care. The why is really important, why they're in foster care. Understanding, yes, 2 of the common reasons that we know are abuse and neglect, but every family situation is different, and they don't always need to know the details because some of those details just are not important. What they need to know is the how. How can we support them? How can we love and serve that child while they're in our home so that we can hopefully reunite them with that family when that family is ready to welcome them back into their home? And then the last one is just creating compassion. If we can create compassion in the youth in our home, they're going to go out and they're going to be advocates. Just like we're advocates for the foster community and for the children that we're called to love and serve, they're going to be that next generation of advocates just like we are. And there's so many great ways. I was on before talking about Foster Your Community with Melissa Ernst and some local drives that they could do right there in their community as youth to help support the youth that are in their home that might be a part of the foster care system.
Ashley, great stuff. I got about 30 seconds left. If people want to just reach out to you or get more information, how do they go about doing that?
Absolutely. They can, of course, just go to beafoster.org. They can reach out to us there. info@beafoster.org is our email address. They can find us on Facebook, of course, but reach out. This is a conversation that I've now started having with youth. So if you are maybe a teacher or you run a youth group of some kind, please reach out to me. I've got a presentation that I have put together that I can share with the youth in your life to help them understand foster care better.
Great stuff. Ashley Ray, thank you very much. We appreciate it and have a great week.
Thanks, Chris. You too.
Thank you. All right, stick around. We got much more coming up right after this.